How's it going, everybody? My name is Jerome, and thank you so much for stopping by. So today I wanted to do a ban list prediction, all that good stuff that everyone is basically doing right now. But in this video, I wanted to give you two lists. One that I think Konami is going to do that's going to benefit them, and then the second one is going to be just a wish list that I think that should happen because it would better the game for everybody. And so yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into the Konami list first. Don't be shocked. It's not that many cards. And why? It's because, well, if you look at Konami's track history, they don't really hit that many cards. It's normally like, what, like 5, 6, 7 cards, maybe. And out of all of them, only 3 are pretty much impactful. So, yeah, very small list. And I did it like this instead of like the other tier things because I see that in those other videos, people just pretty much just skip all the way to like the end to see what they think is, where everything's at on the tier list or their lists that they make and stuff like that. I do it like this because you basically have to hear my reasonings. Because I know some people are going to see this image and be like, what? Ban all these cards? No, I don't think all these cards are going to get banned and all that kind of stuff. Just hear me out. Listen to what I got to say. And yeah, so on and so forth. So I think, first up, we have the Divine Temple. I do not, like, this is the Konami list that I think is going to happen, that Konami is going to do to benefit them for making money and not so much caring about the player base, right? I think that Divine Temple, if they were to ban Divine Temple, that's actually a smart move for them because, for one, Snake Eyes is like their golden child, man. It's like, that thing is selling. Think about it. Without Snake Eyes, right? Age of Overlord, what is it? The Phantom Knight. I mean, those things wouldn't have sold out that much, right? Like, because of them, they sold out all that stuff. So it's like a golden child of making money, bro. I'm telling you. And if they ban this card, people are still going to play Snake Eyes, right? It will change up the combo, and it will make them always have to search for original simple spoils, and they probably have to play like 2 of them or something, right? But the thing is that it doesn't outright kill the deck, so that means people are still going to buy it. And with the upcoming reprints, right, it allows other people that couldn't really afford the deck to now basically afford the deck and play it. Obviously, with Bonfire and stuff, if Bonfire doesn't get reprinted, then, tough love. But at the same time, this would be a good hit for Konami money-wise because now they can still sell the reprints of the Snake Eye core, basically. And yeah, I hope that doesn't happen, though. I hope that we actually get a real card that gets hit. Next is Skill Drain. I don't think it's going to get banned. I think it's going to get limited for them. I mean, the card was reprinted to hell, so it makes sense for them just to limit it. The Sengen Summoning, just because it was a common, the whole deck is really cheap. And, they already did lots of sales on this. It being limited, I don't think would be too bad. It won't really hurt their pockets whatsoever. Opening of the Spirit Gates, it's been reprinted, I think, or maybe it's only been printed once. I'm not sure, but this is an old card. I'm pretty sure that whatever this thing came out of, it's long gone by now. There's no money really to make off of this anymore. The Ubel stuff is pretty much tied along with, like, the Snake Eye stuff and all that. It's pretty much, oh yeah, and also the Pink Switch stuff. It's pretty much, like their next golden child, and everything else is being sold because of the Ubel stuff like that. It's not being because of the opening Spirit Gates and, Beckoning Beast and all that kind of stuff. So them limiting this won't really hurt their pockets. And the next one is Crossout Designator. I think that they're probably going to limit this, or maybe semi-limit it. This is like the questionable card because, again, it's been reprinted. So yeah, it won't really hurt their pockets that much anymore. Appaloosa, I think they're going to ban it. It's been reprinted to hell, and it's not going to hurt their pockets. Beatrice, by now, it should have been banned a long time ago, but I think they're finally going to do it just because of the uproar of how powerful the Phoenix Smith cards are, and how people are tired of seeing this card. I think it's just going to get banned, and on top of that, it's a very cheap card anyway, so they're not going to lose out any money on this. It's not going to really, like, cause people not to buy Phoenix Smith stuff. They're going to still buy all that stuff, so this doesn't really affect their pockets, so I think they're going to just ban that. Now, moving on to, I don't do like cards coming off the list or anything like that, just because I don't really care about that stuff. I think the only things that are impactful are things that get banned, limited, and yeah. So anyways, going on to my wish list. So as you see, there's way more cards here. This is because obviously it's my wish list. So there's a lot of things to talk about here. Flame Birds being banned, I think, will be a great move for Konami to make the player base happy. I think everyone's done with seeing Snake Eyes, so killing it, I think, would be fine. Let's just move on from it. I mean, it's been a Tier 0 format for like, what, 7-8 months now? It's like, this is the longest Tier 0 format ever. It's just so annoying. Singing Summoning, limited. I would be happy if it was banned, but I'm going to be reasonable here and just say limited. Tired of seeing Tenpai. It's the most frustrating. This is the most... I hate this deck with a passion. Shouldn't never exist. Lurie. Lurie's old. Yeah, I mean, it could cause people to buy still the Hidden Arsenal if stores have it or whatnot, just to get this one card. I don't know why though. It's only like worth like $6 or $5. It being banned, you know, and the thing is with the whole Fiendspit package, for me, I hate splashable packages that don't come with any downsides. Like, I was fine with the adventure package and all that stuff just because it's like it comes with a huge downside. Like you can't use a normal summon monster effect for that entire turn. That's great, right? It comes with a huge drawback. With the whole Fiendspit stuff, there's no drawbacks. It's only pros. There's no cons. Which, when it comes to stuff like that, there has to be something to check it, right? And I think that if you hit the Lurie, it's good because now they can't just go track for Lurie, discard Lurie, get the Lurie right back. You know, it's not like some stupid one-card combo that's just like nothing bad happened to them. I think there needs to be at least some drawback. Hitting their Lurie and making it to where they have to basically still discard another card in their hand other than the card that they added, and then have to still commit to summoning some other stuff on the field or whatnot to get to the Fiendspit stuff. It's just, I think that's more correct and whatnot. Pop Prosperity to 1. This card needs to be limited for a long time now. It needs to be... I still think that it needs to be limited, like, severely, because I'm tired of people being able to do their full combo and then activating Pot as their last card and then being able to search for, like, a Floodgate or a Hand Trap. Or if you're playing against, like, stupid-ass Tenpai, they can start the turn with Prosperity, add whatever board breaker that they need, and then game. Like, it's so stupid. So this being limited would be great. Skill Drain, I think it should be limited. I don't think it should be banned. I'll say give it some, you know, wiggle room. Like, make it limited. Just because, like, the only reason why people are saying that this card needs to be banned and stuff like that is just because of Snake Eyes being able to activate it. And then, like, their next turn being able to send it for cost to the graveyard, and then they can just play it normally. I think that if it wasn't for Snake Eyes having that ability, no one would really care that much about Skill Drain. You know, no one was really crying about this card before. Like, think about it. If you go all the way back to February when people were abusing Summon Limit, right? You wasn't hearing nobody talk about Skill Drain. No one gave a shit about Skill Drain. But as soon as Summon Limit got banned, and then Snake Eyes moved over to using Skill Drain, that was when everyone cared about Skill Drain all of a sudden. So, yeah, I think that, especially if Snake Eyes gets addressed, I don't think Skill Drain would be that big of a crazy card again, you know? Like, I don't think people would cry about it that much. Shifter, this was a card that I was on the fence about. I think it's a necessary evil, for sure. But the thing is that if we have decks like Tenpai that are existing that can just, you know, OTK you the next turn, and they can do that because of cards like Shifter that immediately pass your turn, and it just makes the game very unhealthy and unpleasant for decks that are like Tenpai that can abuse this card and just get free auto wins because of this one card. So just because of that, I would say ban this card. But if decks like Tenpai didn't exist, I would say Shifter can stay at 3, and I think that that's perfectly fine just because it's a necessary evil for the game and how advanced it went. Yeah. Triple Attack Silence, I think this should be at 1. I'm tired of playing against people that if they're popping off and I have like a hand trap like Ash Blossom, if I use it, or Effect Barrier and I use it, or Nib and I use it, and they have another card that they can extend with, they just activate talents, look at my hand, and they rip a card, they rip the most important card out of my hand, and then they continue to extend their play, and that's game. So I get punished for trying to punish my opponent, so then I can, you know, somewhat play the game next turn. I just don't think that that's right. I think it's so stupid. Every time that I had talents plus like 2 one-card starter combos, or like a one-card starter and an extender, and my opponent interrupts that, I just go Talents, look at their hand, rip a card, and then I just win the game from there. It's pretty stupid. So it being at 1 I think would be great. Yep. Spirit Gates being at 1 needs to happen. It's just so broken. Yubel, for me, Yubel is like probably the most scary deck scariest deck for me to play against, just because like it just does so much. Every time I've matched a Yubel deck, it just like, I think I put up like somewhere around like 12 interruptions, and the Yubel deck still kept playing. I was like, this is insane, man. Like the amount of stuff that they can do. And mostly it was because of this damn card right here. So I think if this was limited, it would cut down on that tremendously. I'm not sure what card in the gimmick deck needs to be limited or banned, but that's why I include the Mansion here, because I think Mansion is probably the most busted card that the deck got that's making it do what it does. And I just don't believe that a deck like this should exist, just like Tenpai's. It should not exist. It is very toxic, very cancerous, and it's like a virus. Like Gimmick Puppet, the Gimmick deck, and the Tenpai deck are literally viruses. You know, they're very toxic. If you're having a good time and you match one of these two decks and they just completely destroy you and you didn't even get to play the game, it's gonna make you feel some type of way. And then if you continuously match it and it keeps doing that to you, no matter what you do, and there's nothing you can change the game state, there's nothing that you could have done to change the outcome of it, it gets to you, and it makes you want to also play the same deck, right? So then when you do it and you play that deck, you're going to start pissing off other people, and then they're going to switch to playing that deck. It's literally just like a virus. It infects everyone, and everyone just starts playing one of these decks. Literally, there was a time where there was like one person playing Tenpai at our locals. That quickly, within about 1 week, turned to about 6 to 7 people all playing it at one time. There was one tournament that I went to where literally we played, I think, 3 rounds. It was a small event, but we played like 3 or 4 rounds. I matched nothing but Tenpais throughout the entire tournament. I didn't match anything else. Literally every round was a Tenpai player. It was insane. Luckily, I was playing Voiceless at the time, which was like a direct counter to that deck. But yeah, it was just nothing but Tenpais for a minute. And now I'm seeing it happen with Gimmick Puppet. At first it was like 1 player, now I'm seeing like 2, 3 players. Like when I hop onto the community page in my area, I'm only seeing people ask for Tenpai decks or Gimmick Puppet decks. And I think that's just sad. And the only reason why they're trying to play these decks is because they're losing to it and it's pissing them off, so they just want to play it as well to just return their favor. And it's just a virus, man. I don't think it is right to have like decks like this in the game. So I think both of those decks need to be checked in some way. Next I have the Runic Fountain and the Runic Tip. I believe both of these cards need to be limited, like straight up. Every Runic Quick Place card is Runic Fountain. They all just go to it because they can all just summon Hugin. Hugin could just search for Runic Fountain. So every Runic spell is Runic Fountain. So you're not really playing 2 Runic Fountains. You're playing like what, 20 of them. So yeah, I don't agree with that. It should be limited. And then Runic Tip is literally a copy of every single Runic spell in your entire deck, because it doesn't have to search for a specific one. It can just search for any Runic card in your entire deck. So literally, this being at 3 is basically just like, you know, 3 extra copies of every single Runic card, and it's just broken. So it being at 1 would be the right move, in my opinion. Now let's move over to these extra deck monsters that are bullshit. Beatrice needs to be banned. Tired of seeing it. It's broken. Hit it. Get it out of the game. Appaloosa, broken. Tired of seeing it. It's just so annoying that literally every deck is just trying to do their combo and then end on like a 2 or 3 Appaloosa. And it's just like, be more creative. Like, just do something else. IP, get out of the game. I'm tired of seeing it. It's the same thing as Alpo. Every person is just trying to do Alpo with 3 or 2 negates, and then on top of that an IP so they can go into SP, because we're all so creative at this game. It's just so boring. Boring playstyles. Tired of seeing it. Every deck does it. Get it out of here. Yama, ban this card. I love Unchained, but the thing is that I don't love custom cards. I think custom cards should never be a thing. This is definitely someone's child that written this card effect, and Konami said, yeah, let's make it a thing. It needs to be banned. I'm tired of seeing decks that are not Unchained, like, at all, and they're just pretty much splashing this card in, and splashing into 1 Shavara, and then the Escape, or the, fucking Monster Reborn one, just because it's like, hey, you know, Why not? It's a great interruption. It's a Monster Reborn. It's a fucking add back a card to the hand. Why not, dude? It's so busted. I'm tired of seeing it. It was supposed to be for Unchained, but now all these other decks are using it. I've literally seen combos where like Mementos was using it. Like fucking Mementos was using Yama to go into like a Griffin lock, which is just like, come on, man. So yeah, this card needs to be banned. All right, so the next two cards, right? These ones, it took some time, right? Because everyone keeps saying that Gimmick Puppet needs to be banned. The thing is that if you ban Gimmick Puppet, you have to ban the freaking whatever thing it's called, Eidos or Eidos, whatever it's called. And if you ban that, you have to ban Raw's Disciple. If you ban that, you have to ban Jalgan or whatever. If you ban that, you know, the list goes on and on and on. There's always something there to replace one of those monsters. So instead of just banning all of them, why don't you just ban the damn problem card itself that's causing it to happen? Why don't you just ban the bridge? Without the bridge, there's no way that you can do it. So just ban the damn bridge, burn it, so then you can't do these stupid plays anymore. Without Sanctifier, there is no more locks. They have to pretty much rely on their actual, like, deck, for, like, the main thing that it's supposed to do in order to win. Or they have to rely on the Light and Darkness Dragon play in order to win, right? They have to actually use their brain. When this card exists, it just is like, what are you going to do, right? Because, yeah, ban Gimmick. Okay, they just move over to the next card. Just ban the damn bridge. The same thing with Crimson Dragon. This took a while for me to realize this, but all along, we were all blinded, right? It was a smoke and mirrors kind of effect. We were all looking at Calamity like Calamity was the problem. It's honestly not the problem. It's this fucking card. It's the bridge. Without this damn card, right? There is no Calamity lock that Centurions can do. There is no Cosmic Blazar, right? So, you know, like, we're so focused on the card that's putting us in these locks, where we're not really seeing the card that's bridging the way to get there. And, you know, without that bridge, you can't do these stupid plays. So, if we just get rid of Crimson Dragon and Sanctifier, we don't have to worry about those damn cards doing anything. And guess what? No one would talk about it anymore. So I think that if these cards were just banned, it would make the game more healthy. And I think this is this list overall just fixes a lot of the toxic bullshit that we're seeing in the game right now. Obviously, it doesn't fix all of it. It just fixes a good amount of it. And it will kind of put skill more or less back into the game. Because as of right now, I just think that this game right now is completely luck based. There's so many times where I've lost, and I shouldn't have lost. But, you know, like skill wise, I shouldn't have lost. But I only lost just because they either turn skipped me, they had a FTK OTK combo that can't be stopped, and it's just like, if you were playing a deck that actually took skill to play, I would have won that 100%. But just because you're playing like Gimmick Puppet and I couldn't interact with none of your monsters or target any of them, right? Like, or just because you're playing Tempai and I, you know, and I won the die roll and I chose to go first, but I had no knowledge that the person was playing Tempai. So then I sit there and do my combo past turn, and they're like, "Cool, man, draw, stay my main, fucking Raigeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, summon Hydra." Like, what are you gonna do, right? Like. So I think if we just hit like all these toxic things, all these FTK bullshit strategies, I think the game would be more so skill based again, and it will be more fun and more enjoyable, in my opinion. You know, none of these all these cards here that I put on this list, none of them are fun. None of them. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If so, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.